Asa! What is going on, Cobra Kai Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, just don't know what I was doing there. How's everybody doing? I'm hoping you're all enjoying your Monday. I hope you've had a great weekend as well. I am sorry I didn't stream on the weekend. I was just so over the weather this past weekend. It was so hot on Sunday and I just really felt like poo, so I couldn't get out of bed in the evening. I just really needed to just go to sleep. So yeah, I am stoked to be doing another live and really excited to speak to you guys. How is everybody doing? I see loads of familiar faces. Love from Facebook. What's up, Amanda? Lars Pooh the Duck. Sorry, that name. Josiah. Is that how you say it? I hope I said your name right, brother. How you doing, man? CKW, what's going on in the building? How the Celtics doing? Ahmed. What's the air for, bro? Hello, Lisa, Sebastian, Ben Metello. What's going on? Double A, Yo Shamoon. I'm interested in what's the last film you saw in cinemas. Good question, actually. Might have been. What's the last film I saw? Actually, I think it was Spider-Man 3 when I was in the States. I literally saw Spider-Man 3 for the Spider-Man Monday. It was awesome. I think that's the last time I actually saw a film in the cinema, so less than 2 weeks ago. So today I am on here so we can just catch up on Cobra Kai Season 6 discussion. I didn't have anything specific from previous streams that I wanted to talk about because I think we've covered a lot about the trailer. Got plenty of videos coming out talking about new theories from the trailer. And, I've got loads of other content that I want to release before we get any new trailer material from Cobra Kai Season 6 for the first part. Because I believe next month we're going to get something because it's literally right before the Cobra Kai Season 6 debut. So I think with that being said, I think I need to release some more stuff from my ATL trip in February because I feel like I did another good vlog there. And with even ATL last year, I didn't really fully do anything about that. And also I did some really cool stuff outside of the con last year, so I wanted to do a whole video on that. And it was so fun. Really was fun. But yeah, I wanted to quickly talk about one thing about this Netflix upfront event, which I remember I told you guys that we were going to get something around then. I didn't have a direct source that was going to tell me that the trailer was dropping on the 2nd, on the 6th anniversary of the show. I honestly, that week, I was thinking, I kept thinking the anniversary was next week. So I was like, okay, that's before the upfront event. We could get something that week. But then I realized, oh my God, the 2nd of May is literally the same week. And I literally got back home that same morning the trailer dropped. Although it dropped later on in the day for me. But I got back home, I just fell asleep because of jet lag. I got up And I was up before the trailer came out, but I obviously didn't think about that so much. I was just so out of it. And then the trailer dropped whilst I was asleep. And that has never happened to me, guys. Not once ever since I've been making content on Cobra Kai Nation. I've never missed a trailer drop in that way. Always made sure that I try and, as soon as it drops, I'm there type thing. I'm always very careful in that type of stuff. I really try and work around it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but like this is the first time I actually slept whilst the trailer was out. It was like 2 hours after everyone had seen it, but like I wish I'd seen it, on the day as soon as it came out because the hype it's unreal when you do that, when you see it in that sense. Okay, so we can get straight into this with your questions. So let's go with Samuel. Do you think Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai will be knocked out the Sekai Taikai? Funny enough, I remember when I met Shola for the first time at Comic-Con Liverpool in November 2022, we actually spoke about this. And he was saying it was in context, it was a joke, but he was saying he would not be surprised if they were all knocked out within the first round. I mean, Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, you could argue that they have the least experience out of all the participants in this Sekai Taikai because none of them have ever been in a Sekai Taikai, from what we understand, and none of them have ever. I mean, I don't think both dojos have ever competed in it. So, from what we know, it's definitely not something the students are fully gonna understand until they really get in there and start fighting. But I think like it's just one of those possibilities. There could be something so crazy. And I do feel that Miyagi-Do might struggle a little bit because, with everything going on with Cobra Kai with this season. And I won't be surprised if they lose in some way. Um, I'm curious what happens because if Miyagi-Do win the whole thing, that's the end of the show. But this show is called Cobra Kai. It would really confuse people if Cobra Kai doesn't win. But then you think about who's in Cobra Kai now with Kreese and Kim teaming up. It's like, whoa, okay, there's a lot of craziness going on here. But are they gonna win? It doesn't make sense. And Kreese got his victory with Cobra Kai in season 4, and Silver as well, and that was like their way of redeeming for the Karate Kid 3. And I think, this tournament should have and should really challenge the. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I just sneezed then. I was just saying the Sekai Taikai should really challenge the guys in the Valley. I do not think for 1 minute it's gonna feel like an All Valley to them. It's gotta be different, more brutal fighting, harder point system, rules that are tougher to work with. I want the whole shebang. Like, I want students to really rival them, like evil versions of those characters. Like, they are full on no mercy, full on hide guns. I want that. I think that'd be amazing because really shows you where they're going with everything. Um, but yeah, I'm not honestly sure if we will get anything in the next 2 days. But Netflix, okay, this is my prediction. Netflix are gonna see the official trailer for the first part of Cobra Kai season 6. That's what some of the advertisers and execs are probably gonna see, unless they're just being shown like the recent date announcement. But I would assume they would get something that hasn't been seen yet. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Also, your dog is very cute, by the way. Much love. Appreciate it. How are the boys allowing Kyler joining Miyagi-Do after everything he's done? You know what? We need to talk about this. Kyler is taking all these L's throughout the show, and now he's finally going to the side that basically hate him or really don't like him. I'm curious if he's going to be begging to all the students to let him back in with the Cobras, or let him in with like everybody else. But I'm curious how all of them are gonna react. Like I'm sure they're gonna roast him. You guys remember when Johnny like swept Hawk's leg in season 4 because of what happened with him and the stuff he did in season 3? I feel like Johnny might actually, you know, he might lead something for Kyla where they sort of get him back, but then he kind of it makes up for it. Like maybe they get their little like moment to just basically put him in his place. I want Sam to put him in his place as well. Obviously, after what happened with them in season 1, like that was messed up what he did at the cinema. Miguel and Robbie versus Sean and Kenny is gonna be crazy, like absolutely crazy. I think with everything going on between Robbie and Kenny, I think it's going to get heated with Sean as well, because Sean's going to probably be like looking out for Kenny like an older brother. I think Kenny's going to go back home and see Sean, and Sean's going to be like, "What's up, little bro?" And then I think he's going to explain the whole scenario. Maybe he doesn't explain it well enough, or even though he explains it, it's that classic misunderstanding where he thinks Robbie's the reason why Kenny's like duped in this situation. Or I think Robbie might get annoyed at the fact that Kenny's like getting annoyed at him, even though Robbie clearly was trying to help him in season 5. And he told him to leave the dojo before they all found out about Silver cheating. And I think the scene is definitely going to show us. I mean, I can actually get this up. Let me get the actual moment up because we can talk a little bit more in detail about it. Because I actually think that might be my favorite image from the ones we got, mainly because it really tells us something cool about season 6 with the fights. And I actually think this happens very early into filming. And I'm gonna be honest, I have a feeling like they filmed this very early into season 6. Like, I would not be surprised if they filmed this right before the strikes, because it it kind of feels like it makes sense. And also on the image, the metadata on it said it was taken on the 9th of May, 2023. And I believe that is the same day they stopped filming. Unless they filmed this the day before, and that makes sense. But like, this might have been one of the very last few things they filmed prior. So I think there is a lot to consider here. And I don't know if they reshot this. Maybe they kept this, or what they did is they might have reshot it, made it better. But we know that there was changes to the first episode. Perhaps the first episode was just beefed up a bit more. But this fight, yeah, I can see this happening. Kenny and Sean approach Robbie, and then Miguel's there with Robbie, and perhaps he gets there's a little interaction. Kenny's obviously quite emotional what happened last season. There might be a sense of he feels like Robbie sort of like didn't help him or betrayed him in some way, or there might be another reason why Kenny's doing this, but I feel like Kenny's just pissed off with him. And then I think what's going to happen is Kenny basically sort of maybe initiates this fight. Sean's there. Miguel steps in as well because he's probably like, don't mess with us kind of thing. And, Miguel was kicking his ass at the end of season 5, remember? I can imagine Miguel stepping in and saying, like, back off Robbie. And then Kenny could be like, oh, you think because you guys are now stepbrothers, you like think you're better than me and my brother? We're actual brothers. Like, I reckon they're gonna just stir some stuff, and that might happen. Yeah, didn't they say in season 5 that America has never participated in the Sekai Taikai? That's kind of crazy if that's the case. I mean, that might have been a quote that's been said, Morgan. I'm trying to remember which specific. Gunter might have said it, or Gunther, whatever his name is. The the 80s actor that was in season 5. I'm curious. Mike Barnes versus Terry Silver in season 6. I really hope we see that, especially early on. I think after the end of season 5, it's a possibility. Thanks. It's definitely a possibility that we could see that. This is one of those things. Um, I think that. Oh, thank you, Sebastian, for saying bless you. I think the likelihood of seeing that fight is high because number one, they haven't fought. Number two, I think Mike still wants to get Silver back in that way. Like he wanted to fight him. I feel like Mike still deep down wants to. And then I think you've also got there's certain fights that we do need to see that would just be really cool to see in the final season. And it does work for story. I mean, I can imagine Silver fighting Mike, or I mean, what? I mean, I've heard that William Christopher Ford is on. He's been listed to return for season 6 on IMDb, but like take that with a grain of salt because I don't know exactly. But if he is, then that's really cool in the sense that he's basically got potential to fight Mike. I don't know if Silver maybe goes to him and asks for his help, or it's one of those scenarios. I mean, that'd be quite interesting. But then, what brings him back? And does Dennis come into it with the Sekai Taikai? We don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing. Like, what other part makes sense with him? And I'm pretty sure he did martial arts. So, Dennis like helped. He was like, training with Mike to help Mike with the tournament, and obviously Kreese and Silver were his senseis. I think that we'll see some interesting scenes. It could be that Silver kind of allows Dennis to get involved in the tournament, but or he sort of promises him something or money or whatever it is, but Mike maybe comes across them. I don't know what Mike's role is going to be, but I do feel like he will be in season 6. I think with the tournament stuff, he could help. Um, Cobra Kai needs to win the tournament. I think they should. It's going to be interesting how they go about it. I mean, I hope they service all the OGs within that victory, no matter how it goes. I mean, I'm sure they will do that. Minifig Studios, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for being there, bro. You think Judy Pierce could show up as early as part 1? Honestly, I feel like the fact that we haven't had any leaks or any word or anything about Judy Pierce, I'm starting to think they kept that so under wraps. Like, not even extras were probably allowed on set the day they filmed that. Probably very limited crew members were there when they filmed that. They must have been really on it when they filmed it, because I thought by now we would have like found out from somebody that oh look, we're da 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 that this has happened. So I think that would be interesting to say the least, but I would like to think that it's in that way. I think like Julie's got to be in this final season. I think it would make a lot of sense for me because Julie could give a little bit more to the Miyagi-Do storyline, especially with Daniel. And now Johnny's coming to Miyagi-Do from that image Sholo put on his Instagram a few months ago. I think that gave it away. So I think it makes totally a sense. Are they live streaming the upfront so we can watch it? It's not. I've made this clear before, but I'll say it again. It's not something you can just go and watch like a To-Doom or a Geek Week or any event that Netflix are putting on their YouTube channel. It's behind closed doors. It's for advertisers. Is that type of thing. I'm guessing they're actually showing the official trailer to advertisers, and then we're gonna eventually see that for the first part, which I'm assuming it's coming in June with that trailer because Netflix released trailers for each volume for their other shows. So like with this being a 3-part final season, they're gonna give more marketing to it for each part, and each part will have its own marketing. So there'll be a trailer for the first part, you know, which is going to be exciting, and we can get full focus on that. And I think that's good because each trailer that drops for each part can fully focus on that individual part and not spoil too much about the other things. And each part of Cobra Kai season 6 feels like a distinct chapter, as co-creator John Hurwitz said. So I like that idea, like it feeling like 3 mini seasons. So like for me, it feels like season 6 plus a little bit of season 7, if I'm honest. Because the fact we're getting 15 episodes, we're getting one season and half of another season. So think of it in that way. And you never know. The last 5 episodes could be so beefed up to 45 minutes minimum to an hour. That last episode could be an hour to an hour and a half. That could have easily 4.5 hours runtime, maybe 5 hours, depending on what they're trying to achieve and the length. But I don't expect them to go crazy with 6 hours of screen time for that final part. But I think it's important to conclude the entire story with Cobra Kai in a very distinct way and take your time with it. And I think it's also like, I mean, I trust the creators and how they do it. I think it's also gonna be really cool to see how they go about those last 5 episodes, because I'm sure they're gonna be absolutely epic and crazy. And I think at the same time, like it's gonna probably be it could feel like an entire season of Cobra Kai in the sense of the runtime. Like, I won't be surprised if that final part feels like 7 or 8 episodes of Cobra Kai season 1, because Cobra Kai season 1 episodes are very short, and it's probably the easiest, most bingeable season out of all the seasons because it's just so quick to like watch. Do you think Netflix will put up something on their page for the upfront event? They might give us an indicator like, oh, more stuff is coming, and at the the upfront event, investors and advertisers will see it. Um, Kenny will join Eagle Fan Miyagi-Do. Well, he's going to Miyagi-Do. They've even shown that in the parts of the date announcement teaser and also the images that they posted. You can see Kenny in Miyagi-Do. I've actually posted some of these images on my Instagram if you want to check it out, so you can see for yourself. The fights this season are going to be insane. Yes, I have no doubt. I know the stunt team have done absolutely amazing. Ken Bearfield, the stunt coordinator, Don Lee, the fight coordinator, like those guys have been working their asses off, I bet. And I can only imagine the amazingness that they are bringing to this final season with the martial arts and really going all out on this. And the fights, I think the actors have made it clear they've done so much training, and it was much tougher because there was more to do. And I think it's gonna be so many fights. I feel like this could be the season with the most fights we've ever seen. So, do you think that any of the fights shown in the date announced trailer or any of the two mega fights, the first episode that Billy teased last year? I actually think the Kenny or the Miguel Robbie Kenny and Sean fight might actually be one of the mega fights. And I think he said that in the first episode. So that's interesting to say. Um in that sense. But yeah, I think it will be interesting to see. Um can't believe it's coming in 2 months. I know, right? I bet nobody expected a July release date. It's crazy we're getting it that early. And my birthday month as well. I'm so excited. I mean, I don't think we're getting a trailer on Wednesday. I think it's too early to receive it in that way. for the first part, unless you're confirming it, but I don't think it is. Uh, unless you meant no, I think you're talking about Cobra Kai. I thought you were talking about the Wednesday show then. Oh, what's up, Dave? How you doing, man? Maybe a Julie reveal like creases at the as the cliffhanger. It'll be cool if there's like a phone call by Daniel and her, and she like says she's coming to the valley. That they could do something cool like that, or she just arrives at Miyagi-Do. That would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be interesting if Amanda is the reason why she comes down. Like, I think it'd be a little bit of a twist as well, because Amanda was like, you know, asking Daniel how many more Cobra Kai's are going to come from your past. Like, I would like to think that maybe we see a sense of her actually being the one to bring Julian. Um, that'd be quite cool to say. So, yeah, I'm really curious in that aspect what that could be like. Kenny's better than Miguel, Robbie, and Eli in season 6. Highly doubt that. I mean, these guys started the show, Miguel and Robbie, with the male teen characters, other than Dimitri and Hawk. But I don't think that he's going to be better than them three. I mean, yeah, he beat Eli in that Sekai Taikai qualifier, but overall as a fighter, Kenny is not better than Hawk because, he's got more experience. He's the one in All Valley. That specific part of season 5, one of the Miyagi-Dos had to lose. And I think you're going to have Eli lose to Kenny instead of Sam losing to Devon, because Sam losing to Devon makes less sense. And, they even tried to make the ref was even trying to cheat in that fight, but they set it up really well with Eli losing because you could see what was going on. And there's so many reasons for it. I remember I did a whole analysis video on it because I knew fans would have overreacted to it. But Kenny is not better than them, but he's a great fighter. If anything, he's better at he's the quickest fighter with speed, like when he's using that. Because remember the punch he got on Carla? Like he was very quick. Oh, that's awesome, bro. Good luck with it. And yeah, that's a day before the All Valley in season 1 happened. That's gotta be motivating for you, bro. I'm rooting for you, man. Um, yeah, I think with everything going on with this final season, there's just so much craziness. I mean, Kreese and Silva definitely need that fight. That's like one of my biggest predictions. Um, and like, yeah, it's one of those things. I would do want to talk about this as well. Studios are starting to sue people for leaking stuff out. I heard about this. Now, there's people from Cobra Kai, like actual extras, and like people that are just near this where they're filming. I mean, there's high school students, where they're filming different scenes, and it's some of them have taken photos, but they haven't leaked anything per se, which is actually really fortunate. It's actually come from people that have been in the show, like extras, and they're just posting away. Oh, I've done this, I've done that. I met this cast member, I met that cast member. It's like, I mean, I don't get why some of these people have not been made clear about NDAs. Like, maybe they haven't signed anything, but if you're going to be in the show, to keep your mouth shut until the season's out, or at least from the part you filmed. You can talk about it there and then. But I don't understand why like that's going on. I think it's just annoying. But yeah, this whole deal with one of the scoopers on Twitter, I think it's the final straw, especially with Marvel, because they get scoopers and leakers doing all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Um, Do I think we will get a Jackie Chan or Karate Kid movie reference post credit scene? I don't honestly think so. I don't think it's attached to the that sounds like a different universe. So I'm not gonna be surprised if uh, you know, I'm just not gonna be surprised if, like, one of those, things happen. Do I think Colonel Dugan and Ned will also appear with Judy Pierce? At this point, I mean, they could, but, like, I think even at this point, Judy might be a stretch because she's the only one I felt like could properly return. So it's like one of those things. Yeah, I was curious where my channel mods were at. I'm just, like, going through, I mean, some people are like, I love how you guys are just like just crack me up. Yeah, yes, Lisa. One of the I love the photo by the way. uh, Barcelona is one of the locations for the Sekai Taikai, so it's definitely there. I totally agree with you on that, Eagle Man. Although also the profile picture is badass. I love that. That's cool. It is literally the only thing he has. I mean, in terms of realism, he shouldn't be better than any of those three, especially yet. Because they're more experienced and they are like the more main characters. I think he will, but I think he'll call him dad as well. I think he'll get used to that. And I think Robbie might laugh as well because he'll be like he calls Johnny dad anyway because that's his dad. But it's nice to hear him call him dad. Just very wholesome when he starts to say it because that means he really cares about Johnny. And those moments he says dad, he really is embracing Johnny. And at the same time, he might call him sensei. We might hear that Miguel calls Johnny dad more often this season and Robbie calling Johnny sensei more because he's now like learning a lot more from his dad as a sensei because Johnny's never actually mentored Robbie other than in season 5, but we haven't seen him individually train with Robbie, which would be pretty cool to see. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been a few, but it hasn't caught steam in the fandom. And if it has, like, you know, it's been taken down really straightforward. I mean, I had to message John about one in particular because there's been some ridiculous things that, like, it's like, how is this getting out there? But they've been dealt with very quickly. So I props to that. The guys that have been like cleaning up that stuff. Jim Tim said Shola posted something on his IG story. He said that in the finals of shooting season 6. Yes, I did just see that on my phone like 5 minutes ago. That is an indicator that filming is going to probably wrap up later this month or head into June. But I think, like I was telling you guys, like it could be May. Because they started like literally right at the beginning of January for filming. So whole of January, whole of February, whole of March, whole of April, that's 4 months. Then May, 5th month, they go towards the end of May, that's 5 months of filming. Maybe they got to things quicker on schedule, or it could just be that they did have they maybe not changed that much with the first few episodes because Shola said they like refilmed it, I think, with the episodes they'd filmed already from before the strikes in May last year, but I don't think they might have just filmed it again with not much change. So it might have been a quick process. Oh my god, if we see him drop an F bomb, imagine if he like says it to an opponent in the Sekai Taikai, like I'm gonna effing beat you or something. That'd be pretty badass. Um, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Henry Collins, I have to avoid spoilers when July 18th gets here, or just watch it on July 18th so you do not get spoiled. I really hope Robbie was quiet this season. That'd be quite funny. That would be cool because we haven't seen him do that yet. Uh, Someone said, "Oh, what's up, Bryce Productions? You could have Jackie Chan in the Miyagi-verse look like a different person, not look like Jackie Chan in real life. So you could have Mr. Han in the Miyagi-verse. Now that would be interesting, but then it would kind of confuse people. But as they said, made it clear in season 1 when Robbie said about Jackie Chan, that was the creators saying, yeah, this isn't that universe, and that film is not part of this universe with the Miyagi-verse. So, yeah. What's up, Radius? How you doing? Clifford Favors, good to see you again, man. Craig is in the building. What's going on, man? Hope you had a great birthday party the other day. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. I actually do want to see another F-bomb by Johnny because they're always priceless. Yes, I definitely think there will be. There'll be probably quite a few, hopefully, because they're just funny. Who will be the new student center Kim and Creasy's Dojo? There's actually a few of them that followed me on Instagram, and I am actually thinking to do a video on it because I think two of them are definitely in the dojo. Some of them, because the thing is, Sensei Kim's dojo is in Korea. Anyone that's Korean, that's gonna be like that's already just been in the show. As in, there's two in particular that I've seen that followed me, and I've spoken to one of them. He's really cool. He's called Brandon. He is definitely in Sensei Kim's dojo because if they're gonna be Korean, they will be Korean actors. And you know, there's gonna be probably students that aren't Korean as well, perhaps in her dojo, but most of them will be in Korean because it's literally in Korea. That's where it's set, so that's how it makes sense. Oh, how has Nagel just dropped the F on Miguel hasn't? Miguel doesn't really swear a lot. That's the thing. So I think that might be why, but I know what you mean. But yeah, Robbie and Miguel, they need it. Sam and Tori, they need the F bomb too. So that'll be interesting who it is. Yeah, I definitely think they're gonna be absolute badasses and crazy fighters. I can imagine it. Um, yeah, like because I'm gonna win this effing thing. I remember that in season 4. That's what he said to Daniel before. He started fighting or resuming after the timeout. Yeah, I remember that very well. If you haven't subscribed already to Cobra Kai Nation, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit all the notification bell so you do not miss any of my videos on Cobra Kai Season 6 and the Karate Kid universe, and obviously more on the film. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Cobra Kai Nation YT, on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm literally everywhere. So check me out, and TikTok. So I think I'll take a few more questions, and then I'm probably going to wrap this up at the 40-minute mark. Will we see more of Yaya this season? I'm sure we will. I really hope we see her, watch the tournament because she'll be rooting for Miguel and Robbie, and she'll be there with Carmen. The baby should be there as well. It'll be interesting to see how they go about that. What do you think is Terry's role this season? It's actually funny. I was talking about this to a friend earlier on. I think he's going to be working behind the scenes, some little Palpatine stuff. We'll probably see him. My prediction is we won't see him in the first volume. I think the creators want to keep his role more mysterious. And then I think at the start of season, the second part of season Cobra Kai season 6, I think that would be a great way for us to actually reintroduce Silver into the story, or bring him back into the season, and just basically just go about all that craziness that he's been doing. Maybe we'll get a little, like, I wouldn't say montage, but like a little clip or a scene of what him maybe walking out of prison, or how he's dealt with that situation, with what happened, where he's been, what his plans been. It's going to be interesting to say the least. So yeah. Yeah, I need Robbie to say it again though, because I'm trying to remember what episode Robbie said it. It was in the earlier seasons as well, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember what specific episode. Who do you think will win the tournament if you have to pick one person? I'm gonna say Miguel or Robbie for the boys. I mean, it's really down to either of them. It's hard to say who. I mean, you can argue that Miguel, because he's the one that's won it in the first tournament. it comes back to him full circle, call back to season one. Perhaps there's a personal reason why he wins it. It's a parallel. He's not fighting against Robbie this time, or he's got a good and he's not he's in a bad place with him and Sam. It's different. Him and Sam are together, they're good. And Robbie is on his side and they're fighting together. Robbie could win it because he's yet to win it. And I know he said he doesn't care about trophies, but the world tournament is so much bigger for him in that sense. So he probably does really want to win it. But then also Sam and Tori. Tori felt cheated with her victory because of the cheating with Terry Silver, with the ref. Sam technically won it though, even though the ref prevented her from getting certain points. It's definitely it's hard to say. I can't pinpoint. I'm just going to give you those guys as my options and my reasoning behind them winning. It's difficult to say, but I definitely think there's some stuff there that we can think about with those four. I mean, I don't think Eli's going to win it. I think it needs to be Miguel or Robbie, and then for the female, Sam or Tori. Or it could even be that's, in the boys division, maybe whoever's in Cobra Kai wins it, or another dojo, or with the female girls division, it could be that as well. So we shall see. It's 40. It's been 41 minutes now. I'll take one more question and then I'll head out. Let's see. I'm lagging. My connection's been fine this whole stream, from what I can see. Do you think Sam, Robbie, and Tori are on the same college tour with Hawk, Miguel, and Dimitri? That's a good question, Jenny. What's happening? I actually think that could be the case. I don't know if Tori's set on going to college, but she might not be there. It could just be maybe Hawk, Miguel, and Dimitri go. Maybe because Robbie's skipped so much school and stuff. So I'm curious that surely he has to be a year behind, or he's probably gonna have to do summer school or something, surely. Unless they just cut that bit out because they just don't want to get into that because it's too complicated to do all of that. And not so important in that sense. So I don't mind if they just skip over that. Sam, I feel could be there. Maybe she is somewhere there, or she's gone to another part of the college, maybe another frat. But there's girls there as well. Sam could be part of that from what we know. You never know. Unless Sam is with Tori and that's why she's not there. There's actually quite a few interesting ways they could go about it. What's up, Lee? I think I will be, yes. So might catch you around there, buddy. Cobra Kai can't win again. It's the last season. We want a happy ending, Yeah, here's the thing. I want Miyagi to win, but then the show's called Cobra Kai. How do you go about that? If Cobra Kai win, it's got to be somewhat. I can't see. I was saying this a while ago. The only way I can see them winning it is if it's the good guys win it as Cobra Kai, but I don't know how that would make sense because then what happens to Miyagi-Do? I think it's going to be some interesting stuff, or however they do it. There's got to be something crazy that happens. I mean, it's hard to explain. They could win it, but then Miyagi-Do might win the whole thing. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Love you all for joining. Thank you for your time. Remember, if you want to see more streams and live and just live discussions and be part of them and participate in all of them, make sure you subscribe to Cobra Kai Nation now. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the live streams and you see more of my content. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Cobra Kai Nation YT. William Zapka's right there. And I'll be posting a lot more content very soon. I'm going to do a video as well about this update that Shoto has given us because looks like the timeline for filming is very soon. So they're looking like they're going to wrap up very, very soon. So, guys, thank you for watching again. As always, have a great evening. Have a great week. I'll probably be back with another live later this week. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you in the next one. And in the meantime, Cobra Kai never dies. Asa!